It may be the only massacre in human history that began with state-forced mass abortions. It happened almost 30 years ago in Chinese-occupied East Turkestan. But in a way, it's a massacre that still continues to this day. I'm talking about the Barron Massacre, a horror most Americans are not even aware of. Barron Township saw 60 days of terror in the spring of 1990. As part of its deadly one-child policy of population control, China's government routinely forced millions of women to abort their babies. But the villagers of Barron Township had enough, so they did something people rarely risk in communist countries. They walked into party headquarters to formally complain. Chinese officials answered their concerns by sending the People's Liberation Army to storm in and occupy the region. Some locals, devout, God-fearing people, took up arms to defend their families, their preborn children, and their dignity. Chinese authorities were enraged. They sent more troops, this time with heavy artillery and helicopter gunships. The army indiscriminately slaughtered civilians, villagers of every ethnic group in East Turkestan: Uyghurs, Kazakhs, Uzbeks, Tatars, and others. The lesson of the Barron Massacre? If any nation would kill large segments of the population in the womb, it will also, sooner or later, go on to kill them outside of the womb. And 29 years later, that is exactly what is happening in East Turkestan. The Chinese government currently holds at least 3 million citizens, most of them Uyghurs, in so-called counter-extremism centers and re-education camps. Survivors of the camps have told us what's going on the other side of the barbed wire. Brainwashing, beatings, torture, rape, forced abortions, forced sterilization, and even summary executions. It feels strange to commemorate the Barron Massacre because, in a way, inside Chinese concentration camps, it's still going on. Now the people of East Turkestan are facing nothing less than a genocide. The Chinese Communist Party's goal is nothing short of the wholesale extermination of an entire people. From the child in the womb to the elderly and the sick, the Communist Party has no respect for the sanctity of human life and the incomparable dignity and beauty of the human person. And that is why, as an American Catholic, it is a privilege to stand in solidarity with Uyghur Muslims. Americans should unite together to condemn the brutal practices of the Chinese Communist Party. The simple truth is, they threaten both life and choice. Already, pro-life, feminist, Christian, Muslim, American, and Turkestani organizations are joining together to advocate for our brothers and sisters in East Turkestan. And you can join us too. Begin by simply sharing this message as far and as wide as you can. Share it on social media. Tell your neighbors. Help us make the whole world aware of China's ongoing atrocities, especially against women and children. Together, let us put pressure on the United States government. Let's call on all civilized nations to impose sanctions against the officials responsible for the ongoing atrocities in Chinese-occupied East Turkestan. Together, we can finally put an end to the Barron Massacre.